Alright, what was Tony Stark's greatest invention again? No, not her. I mean something that Tony made with his hands. So is it time travel? Probably. But what if I tell you it wasn't? It wasn't Tony Stark's greatest invention, but it's something that we're so much used to seeing that at this point we just ignore how big of a deal it was when he was alive. That's right, I'm talking about his arc reactors, not this one that he made in Iron Man 1, and nor even this upgraded one that he made in Iron Man 2. I'm talking about the smallest arc reactor that Tony had in his watch in Captain America Civil War. And for some reason, the entire YouTube community as well as Reddit just don't talk about it. Maybe they do, but nothing really showed up in my search results. I mean, I can't be the only one noticing an arc reactor right there smaller than a freaking wristwatch. Now, before you ask me how can I rank an arc reactor above a time machine, well, I'll give you all the reasons I can, and let's see if I manage to convince you by the end of this video. Let's begin by rewinding back to when Obadiah Stane shouted his lungs out at his head scientist because they couldn't make a smaller version of this arc reactor despite literally having all the resources they could have possibly hoped for.
Actually, hiccup? Yes, to power the suit. So the technology actually doesn't exist. So wait,
the technology. William, here is the technology. I've asked you to simply make it smaller.
But honestly, it's impossible.
Tony Stark was able to build this in a cave with a box of scraps!
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not Tony Stark.
So just like Obadiah said, Tony Stark literally built it in a cave with a box of scraps, and all he's asking from his scientists is to make it in a smaller size. Now let's fast forward to Civil War. I was watching this movie again with my friends, and this scene suddenly grabbed all my attention. Tony Stark attempted to apprehend Bucky when Bucky went completely rogue, so Stark activated the gauntlet which he was wearing concealed as a wristwatch. Now Tony didn't just use this gauntlet to defend himself, even though this piece of equipment was designed as a deterrent instead of an offensive weapon. We know this because just before Tony used his glove to save himself from a bullet at a point-blank range, he attacked Bucky from behind using the gauntlet's sonic blast, and then immediately after he followed it with its flashing feature to further disorientate Bucky. So it's more than clear that this device not only helps Tony to defend himself, but also allows him to attack. Now here's where I want you to pay attention. All of this that I just explained, that sonic blast, the flashing beam, and the bulletproof construction, all of this came out of this tiny little arc reactor. And no, this wasn't built with nanotech. At the time, Tony still didn't get that far. But here's the deal. Scientists at Stark Industries couldn't even resize their original arc reactor to a shape where you could fit it in your chest. But Tony Stark not only created an arc reactor that he can wear in his suit, but made another one small enough to fit inside his wristwatch. I know Tony is brilliant. I know he made time travel possible. Without him, there's no endgame. I acknowledge all of that, but despite that, I would still say that this tiny arc reactor from Civil War is his best creation, because the moment Tony cracked the code to invent an arc reactor of such a small size, it allowed him to come up with the nano suit in Infinity War, which he has been planning since Avengers Age of Ultron.
This is the next thing, Tony. Your clunky metal suits are going to be left in the dust.
Well, that is exactly the plan.
So my point is this, even Doctor Strange at his peak with the help of Agamotto can manipulate time and space. Doctor Strange, Ancient One and beings of that superior level can take control of time. So Tony isn't the only one who can break the space-time continuum. But don't get me wrong, I do acknowledge the fact that he literally came up with a perfectly working time-space GPS without any help from other dimensions or any god. I do admire that. But at the same time, I want to be realistic. One of the only reasons we don't see Iron Man suits in real life is because we just haven't figured out something that would power the suit for hours without making the suit too heavy. We can use fuel or we might even use batteries, and the more batteries you have, the longer it can power this suit. But the problem is, the more batteries you put, the more heavier your suit's gonna get, or the more fuel you carry, the heavier your suit gets. So it always comes down to one big question. How can we make a power source small enough to carry around but strong enough to power an entire suit? And this is basically what draws the line between fiction and reality. We just can't come up with something small enough to wear while it being powerful enough to make us fly. So Tony Stark not only made his first ever miniature arc reactor in a cave with a box of scraps, but he also managed to size it down to a level where you can literally fit it inside a wristwatch. Now you may ask, why am I using real life situations as a criteria to measure Tony Stark's brilliance? And the reason is simple. Ever since Iron Man 1 came out, one of the only reasons people just fell in love with Iron Man is because of how realistic they try to keep his suits despite being a comic book film. In every movie, he upgrades from a previous flaw. Every movie, his designs have gotten slicker and more portable to the point that his suits and him are literally one now. Although the nanosuit does push away the believability a little bit, but we still buy it because there really has been a progressive journey with his suits, and Downey just sells it so well. For example, Marvel has always showed us the importance of his repulsors that dictates whether he's gonna fly properly or not. If one of his repulsors doesn't work, then we see Tony struggling to levitate, or when he needs to accelerate at a higher speed, his suit actually uses an additional booster to make him go supersonic. And that's why I bring real life physics to have a better perspective at the brilliance of Tony Stark. And oh, before I end this video, I just want to say when I posted on the community regarding this video, I actually put a timestamp of 1 hour 7 minutes and 14 seconds in the top right corner. And it also says Civil War in the picture. I did it because this scene from Civil War that I just talked about throughout this video takes place at exactly 1 hour 7 minutes and 14 seconds. So it's kinda like my own special Easter egg where I was foreshadowing what my next video is about. Anyway, so that's that, and I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did while making it. And if you did, then please grab the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you think I deserve it, and also follow me on Instagram where I post updates about my videos. Till then, I'm the Canadian Lad, and I will see you lads in the next one.
Hi, Spider-Man.